So this is video number 1. I'm just warming up Chew, just kind of showing you guys left. Yeah, good boy. Couple of things to move around. Yes. Hi guys. So this is video number 1. I'm just warming up Chew, just kind of showing you guys left. Yeah, good boy. Couple of things to move him around. He was just outside, so he has been moved around. But I'm just moving him before we actually start. The first skill that we're going to work on is our stand. You're going to get additional notes on this that'll have a few more specifics, but I want you guys to think about a stand for the dogs like a plank for the humans. So while it is a full body exercise, it does focus on, it does focus on the trunk and the core muscles, which is very, very typically an area of all dogs that is weaker than perhaps what we'd like it to be. So always an area that can be worked. So for starters, you can see that I have the platforms down. You can see what he's doing. Now, if your dog has never worked on platforms or never done much of this stuff, you may have to spend a couple of sessions of just acclimating them to the platform. Doing what I did, just walking them up and on and over, no big deal. Let them get used to it. You'll see that he's very, very comfortable with it. He likes to do his 2 on 2 off because we play all sorts of games like that. And the reason I use these, like we had discussed in the previous video, is because it does give a nice definition of space for the dogs. So when dogs are on the floor, Choo-Choo, come, stand. Come here, squirrely. Wait. When they're on the floor, they kind of have the whole entire area to spread out. So they may or may not be necessary. Can you fix it? No, that's not it. Come here. Wait. So they may or may not be quite as aware of what they're doing with their body. You can see right now he's actually in a very nice stand position. His front feet are nice and square under him. His elbows are under his shoulders. His knees are right under his hips. His toes fall right under that. He's not really, really kicked back like, like that. That would be overextended. That would be too far. Likewise, he's not roached up or crunched like that. So we want him in a nice square stand. That's not too bad. That's pretty nice. Level, where the feet are, that's going to vary. They might start out with their feet a little bit wider than normal, especially in the rear. And then what we will do over time is gradually help them understand that they can bring those feet a little bit closer together. They don't need to be abnormally close or abnormally spread apart. They just kind of need to be neutral. You can also see that his top line is very nice and straight and flat and neutral, not arched up or roached, and not swayed down so that it's sinking. I see a lot of dogs with a little bit of sway, and that's typically due to a lack of core. If I tickle him here, you can see how that even helps, him to kind of bring that back up a little bit more. So it just makes him engage and forces him to think about using those muscles, okay? So start with where your dog is, and then look at how you need to progress. If you get to a point and have a question, this is why we're in the group, so you can ask me and let me know. So you see what he did. He hopped himself right up here on here. And this is ultimately what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this because I want them to understand putting the feet on, holding the feet still, being in position, doing what they're supposed to be doing. Now, in this, they need to maintain that form. A lot of times when dogs first get up here, they're really not quite sure about what to do with their rear. So a lot of times they might actually tuck the hiney under a little bit, makes it a little bit easier for them to hold that stance. When they actually kick those legs back and they're nice and square underneath of them, it engages a little bit more work. So initially you might see the legs tucked a little bit in the rear. And if that's the case, I just want you to kind of maybe help them. So what I'll do in that case, is have them come up. And then I might just put my hand here. Remember how I talked about using my hand as a guide? This is where I would use it as a guide. I'm not pushing on him. I'm not forcing him into a position. But what I'm doing is making sure that those legs stay back where I want them so that we get that nice square stand, okay? So by doing it with 2 like this, a lot of times what you can do is vary it like this, which might be a little bit too wide for him. Okay. And they get up and stand. You notice that he kind of runs out of room on the back, so that forces him to stay in extension and keep those legs kicked back a little bit more, which is what we're looking for. So this is a perfectly positioned stance for stand. Now, if you got a high drive dog that's a little woo, wants to go crazy, a lot of times I play a little bit of It's Your Choice when I do this game. So you can see how immediately he realized he needed to kind of chill out. He's really good about working nice and controlled and calm when we do these exercises, but he's also used to doing them. So he's got lots of years of experience. If it's super engaging and your dog is super excited, I play a little bit of It's Your Choice game. I also will just do up and on, maybe click or mark, however you work with your dog, and quickly release them off so that we don't look for too much hold too quick if they just can't put that puzzle together that quickly. All right, so ideally what we're looking for is they get on, we can release them off. Okay, get it. Okay, get it. And that they immediately understand that when these are out, they come back up, put themselves into a stand in position, okay? So this is recognition and awareness and understanding that we're looking for with this first step. So that's the foundation for stand, okay? Then we're going to move on to the next foundation, which is going to be a tuck sit. Okay, off. So for the tuck sit, I'm going to pull out my other platform. If you have these foam puzzle platforms, they work great for the tuck sit. You can actually snap the ends of them together and make it into one long one, which is perfect. I happen to have a different platform, so I am going to pull that platform out because I like working with this one too. Again, when you use anything for the dogs, just make sure that they have a good grip area. So make sure that the surface it's on, this doesn't really slide. Some of the things do slide on the carpet, and so I put down yoga mats or I put down the rubber matting if I need it. So just make sure that they've got a nice opportunity for a stable surface so they don't have to worry about that, and we keep it safe for them. All right, so the tuck sit. So again, if they're not used to getting on equipment, you might have to acclimate them to the equipment a little bit. And you're going to ask for the sit. Choo-choo, sit. And you notice how he danced his front feet a hair. He literally picked it up. That's my fault because he actually has a trick that's a dancing trick. But you notice how he tucked in the rear and didn't move the front feet back, nor did he keep the front feet stationary and rock back into the sit. So front feet stayed still. He then tucked in so that he was in the sit. This is a nice core and rear exercise. So this is going to be our rear exercise work for the week. And then you can just release them off. Okay. Get it. Choo-choo. Right here. Hey, look. Hey, Goofy. Good boy. All right, and then they can come back up. Sit. Yes. And we're looking for them to understand that. Now, if your dog has a stand, I really want to incorporate both of these skills because they kind of go together. But you may have to work a little bit extra on the stand depending upon what your dog knows. So stand goes the same way. Stand. Front feet stay still, rear feet kick back. And he is actually not kicked back as far as I'd like. So what I'm going to do is sit down beside him. Sit. Uh-oh. Sit. Yes. Stand. And he's being a little crazy for the food. Yes. So notice how right there he kicked himself back. He wiggled a little bit. I'm not going to fight with that because he's actually warming for the food. Sit. Stand. Yes. So there he goes, kicking himself back into the position that I like. Also notice where his knees, his hips, his toes are all pointed. Everything is pointed forward. Even if I had him turned, I know you're looking at him sideways, and even if I had him turned, he would still be, you'd be able to tell that his feet are kicking out. So a lot of times the dogs sit. When they sit like this, and this is another reason why I do it on the platform, especially on the flat, they will sit and they might pull their feet in and sit properly, but then you see that the back feet and knees are kind of toed out like this, and we don't want that form. We want everything pointed in and pointed forward, toes, knees, hips, everything should all be moving in the same direction. Now, if you have a dog that really, really, really wants to toe out and hip out like this, find a box. Find a box that's big enough for them to get in, and I'm trying to find my platform. There it is. So if you have any obedience platforms, and depending on the size of your dog, these work great because they give it a nice little frame edge here. So just make sure that it's long enough for them to hold a nice stand in. Make sure that they, oh my gosh, you guys, a baby speckled deer just showed up in my driveway. You have to look. Here, Choo-Choo. Lie down. Stay. Sorry, we have to take a break because I have to show you this. Wait. Now I have to keep Choo from seeing it. Can you see it? No. Down. There's the baby deer. How cute is that, you guys? Oh my gosh, that is the cutest thing ever. Okay, back to work. Okay, sorry, but you know, living on a farm, you gotta take what you got. Okay, good. Good boy. Yes. Yes. Okay, back to our box. Okay, lie down, please. Yes. So, excuse me. Hey, try again. Thank you. All right, so this is an obedient Choo-Choo for real. This is an obedience platform, so it's got a little bit of a lip, but any box would work too. And just cut it down really short, just enough to give them a boundary. Have them stand in it, have them tuck sit. This can also help them not move those front feet forward, because if you put them in a box that's just the right size and the front feet are at the front, they realize, I can't move, I can't do anything, and then they have to understand how to tuck that rear. And then when you kick them back into the stand. So what it does, a couple things obviously, helps keep the front feet still. Helps when you do the sit to keep the knees and toes pointed forward, because when they get in here, they cannot really actually point them out. Some will try and they might be able to do it for a short bit, but they figure out pretty quickly that they have to kind of tuck those feet in a little bit. And then also when you do the stand, it also helps frame the boundary for the stand. So starting here is great. Starting on a platform is great. You can absolutely do it on the ground. I'm just letting you know that when we give them that much space, we don't always get the form that we're looking for. So we may have to add some little assistance for them, okay? All right, next skill. Front foot targeting. This is going to build into sidestepping for us. And I'm going to show you how we're going to start it and what you guys are going to work on this week. This can also be done with virtually anything that you have around the house. It could be done with a towel, folded up, rolled up, whatever. I have these extra little pieces of the foam puzzles. So we'll start with this. Can you wait? Can you back? No, beep, beep, wait. So initially it might just be come and put your feet on here. I tend to use a clicker when I do this initially with them. So I'm just going to click and reward front feet on. Okay. Okay, so you're going to build this game. Okay, get it. Front feet on. Okay, so now we've got value for front feet on. So now what I'm going to do is add a secondary, secondary mat for him to work with. Trying to do this so that I cannot be in front of you and he can understand what he's supposed to do. So really I want both feet on one, and then I want him to sidestep to the other. Even if he does this, that's fine. He's getting the initial understanding of what I want. Not really looking for the rear to move. I actually want his rear to be still, but I'll focus on that later. So initially, it's just getting them to understand, yes, moving back and forth, side to side, between two objects. There we go. Good boy. Okay, because this is going to be our front foot side step that we're going to factor in, and we are going to make this harder. We are going to add an element. Yes, good boy. So that we really isolate the rear. So at this point, we're looking for understanding. Front feet on, and you notice that I didn't have to do a ton of movement for him. I do this via shaping. So I really look where I want him to go, kind of wait him out, give him a second to watch. And then even if I get 1 foot, that's great. And then I just have to keep building the value and building the duration until he understands it's both feet. Then obviously this gives us lots of opportunities for progression. So that's your front skill for the week, the initial sidestepping. Just build some value and understanding of them moving from two different objects with their front feet. Okay? And brain game skill for the first week. Okay, watch out. Brain game skill for the first week is also kind of a shoulder exercise. But it's fun. This is a fun game. They like it. Shoulder, a little bit of backup in here if we can. I'll explain how that happens. So we're going to do rolling out a yoga mat. That's it. Wait. So good old yoga mat. Five Below. No, back up, ding dong. Sit. Five Below has yoga mats for $5. So if you want to go get something cheap and easy, can you wait, please? And act like you at least have been trained somewhere along the line. So you can start this a couple of different ways. If your dog has a nose touch, then you might start with asking for a nose touch down here by the yoga mat. Hopefully y'all can see this. Can you wait, please? Yeah. And I don't care what position they're in. I'm putting him in a down because he wants to be in my face and I want him to be thinking about what he's doing right now. Yes. Uh-oh. So he thinks it's a paw, so I'm just going to change the picture. Touch. Yes. So lots of value for coming here. So now let's see. Yes. We can get a touch on the yoga mat. Yes. Yeah, good boy. Okay. Beep. Beep. Sit. Wait. So to start the actual roll, so that'll be your initial start. Just getting them to engage with it, interact with it, nose touch it, bump it, whatever, because of course we're going to get them to sit. Goofball. Roll it out. Wait. So the way I start this is I only start with a couple of cookies. Wait. So I might put 2 cookies side by side like this. And actually I'm going to start it a little closer. And you're going to roll it up a little bit. Then you might ask for a touch and then see what happens. Let them think about it. If they have a find it cue, you can tell them that. If they don't, let them just sniff it out and think about it. Yeah, good boy. And you see how they figure it out, right? All right, sit. Can you beep? Beep. Wait. So now I might make it a little bit harder. 2 cookies like this. Roll them up. Ask for a touch. Yes. And then let them see what happens. Yes. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, good boy. And then obviously you can progress it so that they're rolling more of the mat. I also, at that point, once they understand kind of rolling it, I do the treats side to side. Can you sit? And you saw right there, I actually got a backup. So let me show you how I do backup with this as well. So what I'll do once they understand it is I'll do treats side to side so that they have to move laterally while they're doing this to get a little more motion in the game for them. Wait. And then I'll show you on this repetition how I also ask for a backup. So I'm going to ask for a nose touch. Ah, you blew me off. No, choo-choo, touch. Yes, okay. So now he remembers the game. So now you can see how he's got to go side to side, moving around a little bit to actually get the cookies. Then what you can do for backup is I just start rolling the mat backwards. And you can see how then I actually get a couple of steps moving backwards. This is not how I teach backup, but it's just a little addendum to doing the yoga mat roll. So, all right. So that shows you the ins and outs of what everything should look like. The notes are going to have more information on all of the specifics of the form and the function and what you guys need to make sure you're looking for. Went over most of it, but you're going to get it also in the notes, so you'll be able to have a written description and just make sure that when you're working through it, you see everything, and we're looking at everything how we want to see it. Okay? All right. So, thanks for letting me show you the baby deer. That was fun. And I will get you the notes. Those will be posted at the same time this is posted, so you'll have those. So you guys can kick off your first week of starting on your exercises. Let me know any questions when you start working, and keep me posted on how things are going. All right? See you soon.